Do not scroll past this. Somewhere, right now, someone is sitting with a truth they have carried for months. And it is about you. They have rehearsed how to say it. Deleted the text. Rewritten it. Deleted it again. If your gut has been telling you something feels off, this is not paranoia. This is you finally catching up to what your intuition already knew. Stay until the end. Because what I'm about to explain will tell you exactly why this feeling has been growing. And what happens in the next few days. I need to say something you may not want to hear. Not every silence is peace. Some silences are just waiting rooms. You felt it, haven't you? A shift. A hesitation in their voice. A pause half a second too long before they answer a simple question. You've told yourself you're overthinking. That you're being paranoid. That you need to just trust. Here is the distinction almost nobody teaches you. Paranoia invents a threat from nothing. Intuition recognizes a threat that is actually, quietly, there. And what you have been feeling has a source. Something has been building beneath the surface of someone close to you. And it is closer to coming out than you think. Let's talk about why someone hides a truth for months instead of days. It is almost never because they don't care about you. It is usually the opposite. People delay honesty when the truth feels heavier than the silence. When they are terrified that saying it out loud will end something they don't actually want to lose. So they wait. They convince themselves, not yet. They tell themselves next week, then next month, then further still. But here is the hidden catch most people never realize about a hidden truth: the longer it stays buried, the heavier it becomes for the person carrying it. And eventually, weight like that cannot stay hidden. It leaks out. In small behavioral shifts. In distance that has no clear explanation. In a strange, nervous energy. Every time a certain subject comes up. Sound familiar? Here are the specific signs that a hidden truth is close to the surface. If two or more of these match your situation, what I'm about to say applies directly to you. Sign 1: sudden shifts in communication. Longer gaps between replies. Shorter answers. A tone that feels careful instead of natural. Sign 2: repeating numbers appearing around moments of unease. 333, 444, 1111, showing up right when your gut tightens about this person. Sign 3: you've been thinking about them more than usual, especially late at night, with a specific unease you can't quite name. Sign 4: a strange, sudden defensiveness from them over questions that used to be simple. Or the opposite, an overly casual, overly smooth answer that felt slightly rehearsed. Sign 5: a recurring dream, or a flash of intuition, involving this person and a conversation that hasn't happened yet. If you recognized yourself in even one of these, take a slow breath right now. What comes next matters. Before we go further, I want you to do something. In the comments, without naming anyone, without sharing private details, just type the one word that best describes what you've been feeling. Uneasy. Distant. Off. Just one word. This isn't about airing anyone's business. It's about you finally acknowledging, in writing, what your body has been trying to tell you for weeks. Now, I need to explain something important. Because what you do with this feeling matters more than the feeling itself. Here is the catch: almost nobody tells you about a truth that is surfacing. Trusting your intuition does not mean assuming the worst. It means staying awake enough to notice, and calm enough to ask. This is the part where so many people go wrong. They feel the unease, and instead of creating space for honesty, they spiral into accusation, surveillance, or silent resentment. And ironically, that often pushes the truth further underground instead of drawing it out. The people who actually receive the truth they're sensing are rarely the ones who corner someone with suspicion. They are the ones who create a safe enough space that the other person finally exhales and says what they've been holding. So the invitation here is not, go confront them. It is, notice what you're noticing, trust it enough to take it seriously, and prepare yourself, calmly, not anxiously, for a conversation that may be closer than you think. Why now? Why does a truth that's been buried for months suddenly feel like it's rising to the surface this week? Because guilt and unspoken truth operate on their own kind of pressure system. Like weather building before a storm. At some point, the pressure of carrying something unsaid outweighs the fear of saying it. And when that tipping point arrives, people often surprise even themselves with how suddenly they finally speak. You may have noticed subtle changes this week: a longer pause before they hang up, a message that says, "We should talk soon," a look that lingers a second too long. These are not small things. They are the outer edges of a storm that has almost finished forming. But here's the part that separates people who handle this well from people who don't. You cannot control when someone chooses honesty. But you can absolutely control how ready you are to receive it. Step 1. Release the need to already know. Your mind may be building 10 different versions of the truth. Most of them are wrong. Let the story stay unwritten until it's actually told to you. Step 2. Regulate your nervous system before you react. When the moment comes, your first instinct may be panic, anger, or the urge to shut down. Take the breath before you take the reaction. A truth delivered with fear still deserves to be received with steadiness. Step 3. Decide your own worth before the conversation happens. Whatever the truth turns out to be, it does not get to determine how much you are worth. Know that going in, and no revelation can shake the ground beneath you. Step 4. When they finally speak, choose curiosity over cross-examination. Ask questions to understand, not to punish. People rarely finish being honest with someone who is already treating them like a suspect. Step 5. Remember, closure is not always reunion. Sometimes the truth arrives, and it leads to healing together. Sometimes it arrives, and it leads to a clean, honest ending. Both outcomes are still closure. Both still free you. I want you to do one more thing with me. Silently, in your mind, say this: I am ready to hear the truth, and I will meet it with steadiness, not fear. If you felt that settle in your chest, even a little, type the word steady in the comments. Let that be your quiet declaration that you are done living in the version of this story built only from guesses. Whatever this truth turns out to be, I want you to understand something important about closure. Closure was never about the other person confessing perfectly, on your timeline, in the exact way you imagined. Real closure is something you are also capable of building yourself, even if the conversation doesn't go the way you hoped, even if the full truth takes longer to surface than you'd like. The unease you have felt these past weeks or months, that was never weakness. That was your inner knowing, working quietly, refusing to let you be blindsided completely. Trust that part of yourself. It has been protecting you long before this moment, and it will keep protecting you long after. I want to leave you with this. Something is shifting. You have felt it, and you were right to feel it. In the coming days, pay attention, not with fear, but with quiet, grounded awareness. If a conversation comes, meet it standing tall, not braced for collapse. If it doesn't come as quickly as you hoped, keep trusting your own perception anyway. Because your perception was never the problem. You have spent long enough sitting with a question mark. What's approaching now, in one form or another, is an answer. Let yourself be ready for it, whatever shape it takes. Before you go, I want one final thing from you. If you feel, in your spirit, that this message was meant to reach you today, if something in your chest just recognized itself in these words, I want you to type these exact words in the comments. I am ready. Not, I hope so. Not, maybe. I am ready, ready to face whatever truth is coming, with steadiness instead of fear, and with the full knowledge that your worth was never in question. And if this video reached you at exactly the moment you needed it, subscribe, and turn on notifications. Because the next sign, and the next truth, may not wait for you to come looking. The surfacing has already begun. I'll see you in the next one.